I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down.
And I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hand.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch.
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death.
Can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed.
Yeah, but I think it might have supernatural abilities.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mambo or
By the
Jambo?
way, do you happen to have any guns?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything.
Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. Owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment?
I feel like he's framing someone. Hello, welcome back to Disco Elysium stream. I'm Cordy the Corgi, and this is the stream number 4. Last time we just finished the day 1 of the game. We haven't slept yet. Alright. So let's get to sleep.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
I think
The sheets
my
feel
neighbors
at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Sorry.
And then sleep doesn't come.
Oh. That's a long load. The long loading.
And then
Okay.
sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Roll over to the other side.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
No more sauce. Oh, it's sleep for now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Alright, a dream sequence. Cannot go there. Disco oh, that's myself.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Oh, the wife thing again. You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
Do I left her or did she left me? I'm a superstar. I probably left.
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left, while you just stood there with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me.
Fail you?
You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
But I fail every people in the world. I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
So is the ancient reptilian brain again talking to me?
Stinky boy.
And the limbic system. I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case, maybe?
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
A new type? There's another type?
Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too, so soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork, barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Time to go to work. So we have a bad dream, we have a bad sleep. What a good night. Am I right? Okay, our health and morale came back.
Good going, buddy.
I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting, rejuvenating.
Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell is going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
No, that's not it really. I feel super good.
That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. time to get some more.
Stop it.
Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed.
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
That's a lie. I can do this without a speed. Half the town won't be dead.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
Alright, Electro. Anything here? Can I try for the tie
This fan
again?
has 2 chain pull switches. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is...
Anything to help with that? No. Hat? Should I put it on? I'm gonna be a black idiot because rhetoric went to 0. It's not gonna change that much from 1 to 0, right? Can I try something with my face?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Nope.
In it, your face.
Oh, I can fix the faucet. 2 chain cutter. Let's try both of them.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
42%. Let's
your
try.
face. The door. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Alright. Alright. Anything to help with interfacing? No. Already wore it? Already wearing it. The shoe is -1 silver fare.
This fan, or has it been consigned there as punishment?
Yes, I can try taking out the shoe and see
This
if
fan
I
has,
can.
or has it
No, I
been
can't.
consigned?
It's early in the stream, but I need to go take care of something real quick. Be right back in a few minutes. Alright. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Okay, nothing to do in the room. That woman in the room.
The door is closed.
Again,
Still,
nothing. Okay. What? Okay. Okay, there's some new people here. And Kim is here. Alright. Good morning, Kim.
Morning. I've got some good news. I took care of the body. The thought of him decomposing in my MC wouldn't let me sleep.
I don't know if I was ready to get him go.
Well, he's in processing now. We have other matters to attend to.
oh well, we'll get the armored boots in another lifetime.
You mean another prey too?
He kind of wishes you'd acknowledged his contribution, but you've missed your opportunity now.
Oh.
The Union muscle finally turned up, and they look rowdy. We need to talk to them.
What do you mean, rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinaise isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast. I have no doubt these are the hearty boys Evrart told us about. The ones who keep the peace around here.
The local militia.
And the big one must be Hardy himself.
There are so many of them. Maybe we should call in for reinforcements?
That would just escalate
Reinforcements?
tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
And this is the man God told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
Why do we need to talk to them? Just
This
to
is
confirm?
clearly the Union's peacekeeping force Evrart told us about. The one he said hanged our victim. We can't be sure, of course. Evrart may have lied to us. He definitely has an agenda of his own. Either way, we need to interview them, and it won't be easy.
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms.
They're in no hurry to
Okay.
leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
So we have 2 swords backing this strategy up? Maybe? Let's talk to the guy first
Can I help you?
about my bill for tonight.
Got the 20 real?
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting my time?
Goodbye. Hello, lady.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the
Oh.
way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
How did Lena was kicking? That's rude. Okay, good day, ma'am. Everything alright?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why do you need to use the phone anyway?
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Oh, his husband is missing.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot.
I love missing person case.
That's right. Now skip the foreplay. Time to dive into the dark alleys. Start shaking down the usual suspects. You know, legwork. Doing some good will alleviate the hangover. At least you're of use to someone.
Okay, I'll buy. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
Can you be a bit more specific? I don't understand any of that.
But you have more important things to worry about.
What kind of expedition?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Maybe your husband went off on an adventure?
Goodness, no. Well, we did get separated once before during that monsoon in South Safre. But we were younger then, and Morel always takes the appropriate precautions.
Do it. Find him. This will surely lead to a mystery with that extremely rare insect.
Alright, Inland Empire. This sounds like police business. I'll help you find your husband.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
I've got a premonition that this missing scientist is connected to our main case.
I sincerely doubt
That's
it.
why.
Still, I suppose it won't hurt to keep an eye out.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel.
So he's some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
Crypto? Like Bitcoin? Doge Coin? What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology. One specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Real.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids?
Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
Could you tell me about one? Just one interesting cryptid?
I suppose you could use a break and I could use a distraction.
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
Okay, Kim. Just one little cryptid. Promise.
He nods, and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids, cryptids. Let's hear about all the interesting cryptids.
Which one should we talk about? Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
And how do you know they exist?
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
You're right, Kim. It's childish, but I need to know.
Okay, I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
It's the Col de Mama Daqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Odo Mama Daqua? What evidence is there?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagi ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
It's not.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama Daqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Huh. Name them?
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mama Daqua they followed individually.
Could it be here? Right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
What does it sound like?
Like nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and you wouldn't even know it. Could be anywhere. Everywhere, even.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
Alright. Why is it the Mama Daqua so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Students drop it to extinction?
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama Daquas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
They cancel?
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing.
They cancel each other?
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Great regret washes over her. A wending cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Cultamama Daqua population anywhere.
Okay.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a good story.
I'm glad you did, dear.
Interesting. What about?
What about what?
Should I do something else? This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
Tell me about your husband. Looks, character, relationship.
Oh dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
What does he look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. If I were trying to meet him on the street, what would I look for?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did you two meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And he'd just divorced. We hit it off and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
Okay, let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
So, what about the rare insect you are looking for?
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
Okay, this is gonna be long.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Oh, yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence it's named the Insulindian Phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the Phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you.
There's a hint of defensiveness to her retort, but also confidence. She seems to sit up a little straighter in her chair.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
What makes you think the Phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So that's your only evidence in a newspaper clipping of a teenager?
Of course, most Phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian Phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this cryptid?
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian Phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
Is this dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is this valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
What's so special then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
That's all for now, ma'am. Alright, anything else we can do around here? I think I'm gonna trust my thought and ignore these guys for now. Hello, Mr. Cook.
The
Anything
man
else?
ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Do you know what's behind that door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know
Thank
what's
you.
behind that door.
It's obvious. Alright. The gardener? What are you doing here?
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
I mean, no trouble. I'm here to do my job, that's all.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinaise does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. You're sure Easilio mentioned something about a lawyer, Elizabeth someone, but you're too dumb to remember what it was.
Alright. What's your role in all this?
Obviously, I'm a lawyer. A legal counselor for the
Oh.
Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
So she's the one Evrart brought up? Elizabeth, right? What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinaise, you are no one.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Alright, so not doing this one. Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers. We've talked to Evrart Claire. We know who these men are. The Union's militant wing.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
So the politics is here. Should we become a socialist? Or become cool and funny? The privatization? Let's try the socialist thing. We are helping Evrart at all. After all, I like that. Good start. Let's take it a step further. Arm uprising. What are the Union's plans?
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinaise.
Look like I need to talk to them now. No, not. I should talk to Titus then. Okay, I can still walk away. Okay. Who this guy? No, nothing. Okay, let's explore. We haven't seen anything on the west side of the city yet since last time. And we haven't seen the representative of the company.
Was that? Could it be the Calder Mama Daqua? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there ringing?
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear.
Listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species.
Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder.
Hold still and hope the bird come to perch on my shoulder.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
No, come back, please.
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinaise, you're sure to hear it again.
We have a space for that. No, I already used some. Kodo Mama Daqua. You heard it? The mysterious Kodo Mama Daqua. Alright. Nothing, no penalty. So next time we get a skill point, we can try to internalize that. Okay, young lady, what are you doing here?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of a store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
You don't know this? What's it, a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time.
Alright. What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is it okay if I ask some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have.
What's your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
You mean with the shining light with the big glass window?
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling, but she's cold.
Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Hey, Pat.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
Shouldn't you be at school?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
What is school anyway?
School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around a building of brick and mortar. Somewhere, a clamor rings through the honeycomb of classrooms.
What's it? This feeling?
Remorse. The parquet of assembly halls. The rows of stall bars are growing cold. The corridors stand empty. A girl's voice somehow finds its way through this strange feeling.
You are the most cryptic thought I have in my head. What is all this?
You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only hear.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Oh, and how is the business doing?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Curse? In what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go,
Say nothing.
well, they run out of money and have to stop doing business.
This sounds serious. I should probably look into this.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Poor Kim.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
How does this curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifestation.
No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
I don't think. Maybe just a quick
Crime
two?
fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Okay, I get it.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guy. You don't look much like a policeman.
What does a cop look like?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
I used to be exactly like that guy. Then I decided to leave a little.
What's that mean?
You know, cut loose, dress him, roasting.
And everything's better now, sir?
No.
Why is that?
Look at me, a hideous beast, a failure of a cop, a trisket.
Sir, please, sir, don't say things like that. You look nice enough.
Nice enough for a small child, sure.
Don't be sad, sir. I'm sorry I said that thing about Dick Mullen.
It's not your body that's important. It's your head.
Head? Yes.
No, it's your soul. Your blue soul. No, your mind.
You're having a fight? A quicksilver mind. This Mullen guy looks like he needs 4 hours just to come up with a single idea.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories.
Sure, when the other does all the thinking for him.
Like you, sir, of course. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you.
Oh, she's a nice
Maybe you can show
kid.
me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Okay, I'm going to deduce something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest, a facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails?
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
There were a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
One more? Then I can figure out why you bite your nails.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You are uptight because of your mother and the pressure she is putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another AS deduction by the #1 detective in town.
It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You think so? Fine, do better. Deduce something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Intensely not flinching. And I'm having a grand time.
I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
Maybe I talked with her before I lost my memory? Let's try.
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Alright. Hang on, so you know me? We have met before?
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Telling people about being a star or something. Don't really understand who those stars are.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
What? Thanks, I'm trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Party eye?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Shut it, Electro. Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics?
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So why didn't you tell me you know me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
Thanks.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
What is romance?
It's the type of
It's
book
a
where there's a rich lady
landmine.
and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
And she shoots the bad man every time, right?
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where it doesn't work out?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah, you think we chat one about an excruciating painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
Okay, I need to take care of something real quick. Few minute break. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about all the interruption today. Yeah, just something I need to take care about. Okay, let's continue.
No, I don't know.
Alright, I'll ask your mum.
Yes, she knows books, definitely.
Later, when you get the chance, you should address these issues by getting drunk. That'll show them.
Alright, Electro. Let us do a quick click to
It
this.
happens. Those are unhappy books. For most of these are not very common. Well, maybe
Alright.
then maybe some about other books.
Well, who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Can I become famous by reading?
I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous.
Famous? Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Well, someone wrote a whole game about you.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'll be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. They will show them.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Okay, bye. See you around, Annette. Maybe we can talk to her mom and let her come inside. Her hand is bad enough as it is. A good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Alright, have a good day.
This was a tremendously useful interlude.
Alright, Kim. Alright. What are these? Gift book. Old sports magazine. What is this?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere.
Him now? Okay, tell me about the Muscleman book.
Oh, Man from Hyundai. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
She looked down on people who read fantasy novel. Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say.
Alright.
If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundalaman, the man from Hyundal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Look through.
Rows and rows of Hyundalamen blur your vision.
Good God, how
You
many
make
are
out
there?
maybe 100. Man from Hyundal and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyundal and the false
Alright,
god.
is it all?
Not even close. Man from Hyundal in hell. Man from Hyundal and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyundal under the lake. Man from Hyundal, Hyundal burning.
Him now,
There's
him
even
now,
the
him
trial
now.
of death.
Okay,
A
let's try
pastoral
this
combat
thing.
game book said a twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
What is it?
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
This is his trauma again, right?
She's laughing at him. A little.
Right.
Between the throne and the Hyundala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundal and the Devil Woman.
I'm not gonna go there. Interesting.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundal novels.
Leave. What's about this?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space.
What game do you have?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those in... Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do you have children, a family?
It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Okay. Yes, kiss, friends, chicks, they have all those.
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
You mean Civ 6? What about all these bureau games?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things.
He
Personally,
looked
I don't
down
like it.
on
Not at
the
all.
nerd, on the geek.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though.
Look true.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices
It's
litter the table.
D&D.
The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate
alright,
cover art.
anything
There's
that
a box
crashed my eye?
that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. The side panel notes a fantastique adventure board game.
Alright.
New
Lee?
ma-
Was it that? Okay. Recipe book. Let's talk to her.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Energy.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
No. A curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
So, are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Yeah. You sound annoying, not gonna lie. Your daughter is the one standing outside, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Oh.
how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
10.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
I get she's trooper, alright. She looks like she can take it, but it's actually wearing her down.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of
no.
life.
A part of hers too, clearly.
I don't think she can do anything about it.
She can if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
What you are doing is wrong.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Okay.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
You are like Annette to your husband and your mother?
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
My husband is completely different, of course.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
And your husband's also involved in the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Are they divorced? Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Of course, yes. This economy.
Exactly.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
The
Alright.
woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
What if I want to buy a book?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The books await you.
So what type of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look
Alright,
yourself.
take a look.
She smiles and nods.
I will. Annette, how are you?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win.
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
What is it?
I thought this would fit you.
Oh.
Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
Wait, where did you get it?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
A detective hat? Okay, I get it. I can look just like Dick Mullen, except I'm an actual police officer.
Yes, I bet it looks good on you. Really serious. Right, I have to get back to my homework now.
Alright. Let's see. What? +1 encyclopedia. Let's try it on. Alright. Let's go outside. No, upstairs first. What is?
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders.
All right.
You're a police officer.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of these books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure thing.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of which a killing is declared.
Okay.
Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final
Mullen
case
died?
of Ona. Turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Is he like Sherlock Holmes or something? Are there any more?
Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen.
Alright.
Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen.
Alright.
This is not the way real police solve crimes. The real police are some 20 kilometers away, sitting in an armored motor carriage.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not that interesting.
The fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it. You see, Chester here.
So it really happened?
Gosh, why?
A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time.
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Can I? No. Okay. Let's try.
Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity.
What do we have here? Mistaken Identity.
A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does it speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
No, it's gotta be something else.
Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere.
No, that's not it either.
Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky red dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on?
What? No, that's not what's happening.
Yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly obvious. Relax. It's not that bad. Also, this means your blood flow is returning to normal. Good news, really.
Something the matter, detective?
Would you describe this woman smoking them?
The lieutenant narrows his eyes and contemplates the book for a moment.
I would certainly say she fits the description, providing that's your type.
Alright, live. Bong, Harry Bong, go to haunted jail. Bong yourself with that crowbar in your hand.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Anything about?
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Who or what is an innocent?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about which of these innocents is the coolest and greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
So you recommend it?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person.
All right.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
4.7. I will come back when I have money.
Browsing through all the books with suddenly a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called The Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
All right.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You
All
are...
right. Something else. Boring book.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dunder. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
So, alternative medicine, how does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Like the New Year stuff? That's the book saying, you know?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Alright.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl.
What's the pearl?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's the book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand
what?
made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pearl.
Immigrating?
It is, and good for the circulation too.
What else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pearl. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pearl and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
How is that possible?
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Fair enough.
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pearl, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour.
Contradicting.
These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need.
Anything else?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
I probably need that.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it.
Alright, another book with... Hey, bye.
Sir, I can't have you end up like...
Alright. That's a bunch of pseudoscience, but Inland Empire love it.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinaise.
Look at the map of Martinaise.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing.
Alright.
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there. This large map displays archipelagos. You see Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamet. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers. Still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Can you see cities?
You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu. On archipelagos, Croyan,
alright,
little
too much
pearls
information.
of light. Tiny fires in the The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosigns and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Sail is the west. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Look at the map.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the Coudon. It's somewhere to live. No, it's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you?
You never make sense to us.
No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Alright. Can I buy the map?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinaise is the only one available. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinaise is 90 cents, though.
Why is it so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
What happened?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going.
Alright, I'm gonna buy the map.
Fixed Martin. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Interact with the map.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of your finger moves through the veil, finally coming to a halt on the spot.
Alright. Let's see. Let me see this later. See the map. Oh, nice. We can see where the check. Can we retry? The hangman is still there? No? Okay, so we are somewhere around here. We can explore this part. Alright. We have been there. And we have not been there. Alright, I think we are done here. Unless there is something here.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
She's right. Those curtains give us some eerie vibes. Better not mess with it.
It's a legendary check. What's so eerie?
Be wary of those mysterious ornaments from the Dark Isles.
Dark Isles? What's going on?
Do you realize what's out there? Upon the mist-shrouded islands of Ile de Fantôme in Seminine, eerie pygmies and wild shamans practicing unnatural mysticism.
Yes, I've sensed that. It's terrifying.
They lurk in the tropical pearl of Seminine, casting strange magics on everyone. Ignore the curtains, or suffer the consequences.
Examine the strange kid-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
What behind the curtain?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She has something to hide.
Oddly
here.
enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Let's make a quick save. And
the curtains
gonna try open the open.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
What?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
But I sense this place calling for me.
You do? My god, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains.
This is
Step
about the
away,
curse.
Dis. No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
But I need to get in there
Why?
for police.
It's not like anyone was killed there.
What? 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 What?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
Alright, open it.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Okay, let's try.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
What's here? Silhouette of hair trial? Portrait of a man. And what is
A
this?
heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Should we try a 20th check? It's print here show, so it's gonna be hell, maybe? Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Is that blood I'm seeing?
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What is going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed.
Alright. Okay, nothing except one damage help. Can we talk?
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
I need to know what secrets lie behind the door. It's a part of the visual quest.
You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to
All
look at the...
Okay, a little side tour. Let's go back to exploring the town. So we need higher pain threshold to go through that door. I wonder what inside. Can we look from the window? What's that? Oh. What about here? No? Back not go there, right? Nice music. What is this?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this 3%?
Because this is no ordinary wall.
Whoa.
It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God.
What?
Oh, Wallfather.
Oh no. I must paint this wall, add even more beauty to it.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all.
Right?
Sure. I
Alright.
suppose we have to pass by it again at some point anyway.
He sounds so... What's over here? Nothing. The same door we opened last time. What around here? What is this? Apartment. Roundabout. Let's go up there. Did she spill the pen? Can we talk to her?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
Oh, nice and emo oh, God, go.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Why that? Yeah, when were you last tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
She's grown frustrated with her work and welcomes the opportunity to challenge authority in other ways.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
What?
I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
I have an opinion.
Yeah?
I love public art.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
So because we approve, she is less motivated. Reverse psychology. You keep looking up to the side. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features.
That is on her.
The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her.
Oh.
She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Alright, being weird is a plus now.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to us on.
Is she Scottish? Cindy, I need some pen.
What for?
For art.
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
Grand art look.
Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off.
You see, you all see and tremble.
Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look
Okay,
like
not
you
gonna-
suck.
Not gonna do that.
Everything really.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your
That's gonna be another playthrough to see that thing. Oh, then. The code with suggestion. I think I'm gonna keep this one. Alright, we should talk to the What's in here? The magnesium. So both is almost the same size as my room.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
So she's the capitalist side, while the unions are the socialist side of the city. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk?
I'm not a drunk, I'm a police officer.
Of course you're not. It was only a joke.
Joyce L? What does the L stand for?
Beaton, my maiden name.
Alright, check ahead.
I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
Alright, you're on the board.
Why, yes I am.
Does she have that?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name. A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
I like how these two always coming on each other and being cryptic together. Cool, but your boat really need a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about the X something?
The X something? The X what?
Just the X something.
Very absurd. Thank you for the suggestion. I will stick with the factory name for now.
Alright, let's
thank
go
you.
through it quickly.
It's a pleasure craft. A 19
Alright,
pacer.
alright.
My sloop. I like it a lot.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Not a lot of people on board, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we are on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou, I thought? We were in Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is
Oh.
on the island of Le Caillou.
Still, I haven't seen anyone stay on board.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
Do you have license?
Officer, I assure...
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming.
Can I see
Where's
your
the
license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two Insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
What happened the other time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see your license, ma'am.
Actually, you don't.
What do you mean?
The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little known fact among us
Alright.
law officials.
Okay, I have another question.
About the boat? Good.
Okay, so Kim tell us to be weird. How about this? You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on the reality we are in.
This reality?
The aim is to gain a deeper understanding.
By learning about the world, I hope to learn more about myself.
A sort of spiritual quest. Something of ancient Ilmaran origin.
Yes, a spirit quest.
You will find him a big fan of the ancient ways. It's part of his condition.
Nothing wrong with ancient ways. Our modern ones aren't necessarily better. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Okay, gonna believe you. Where are we?
We're in Martinaise, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
So 50 plus. I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinaise?
Martinaise is a district of Revachol. A very
Alright.
you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
You mentioned the sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. Yes.
Let's go quickly
We're
go
on an
through
island.
this.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable. Flowing.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only
Alright,
been here.
alright,
This place used to be a
alright,
province.
alright,
A workers'
alright.
resort before the city swallowed it and the
The name
artillery
of
did it.
Claire.
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, level show. It's a city.
the great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest. The fault lines, by that I mean conflicts.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we are in an important part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinaise is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
They're nothing.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly. This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Should I? Jump it through? always feel like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. Alright, I'm gonna believe you. Internalize. Alright. Do we still have a point? Nope.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Madame Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, I will continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
Okay, can we try this? 58.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
What times are
These
this?
are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were
Alright, let's
before the big time,
go
the
through
revolution.
this.
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so,
Alright,
our species gets together to decide
when?
the turn of the century revolution. The
Alright.
revolution began in 02 on the Isla. It wasn't a who, but a what.
Pandemic?
A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the
Oh.
authorities in Grad proved unable to contain.
What did they do?
It made people overthrow their
What?
governments.
What? Really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark. From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's governed by. You and I offer...
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar.
Our life are not the
No
same.
doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
Alright, that's
A city-state divided into...
The clatter of typewriter keys fills.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
Okay, so the monarchy and the communists, now the zone of control.
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-Islary communication.
Alright,
43 years.
Alright.
The 20s saw a decade of urban war. The 30s...
Alright, alright.
No. It was a market
Okay,
mirage
because
fueled by
XP out of it.
cocaine and Welcome to reality, baby.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
You don't seem to be thrilled.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I would have thought of medical solution, I guess.
A cold creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck, toward the back of your head.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago?
What? I don't want to go there.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The charge dissipates into the dark water. All is quiet on the Martinaise inlet.
Okay, so I chose the wrong answer.
There is peace in the heart.
Huh?
Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that doomed the authorities in Grad. When they failed to step up, Marzorf and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
Alright, gonna go through this quickly.
Those would be the communists.
Communists.
She's not gloating.
Oh, and the anarchists too.
Anarchists.
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a cup of...
Yeah, it was a...
Yes. The Insulindian deluge, they call it. I see. Yes. Oh, lots of people.
Alright, okay.
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Smart king.
Yes. King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. Him and tens of thousands of his... the liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on... They didn't win so much as survive.
Alright.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people, really. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad.
There is bitterness in her voice. Tempered.
The moralists believe, at least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of... This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I don't think I'm a moralist, man.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. They are what they are. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Alright, I'm gonna take a few minute break here before we go into another exploration dump here. Alright, be right back. Alright. Hydration check. It's not the filter out the water sound, I guess. Okay, let's continue. Who you are?
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor.
Huh.
A devourer of nations and infants.
Huh.
I am an ultra.
Huh?
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
Cool, I liberate pretty hard myself. Or should we go for a socialist thing?
No, not like me. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp who pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. Are you liberated enough to offer up your home on a plate for financial colonists? No, I think not. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride. Forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
I forgive you, but only because you're charming.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
Alright, it's in character.
Steal, kill, and destroy. That they say we've been doing for over 4 decades now. Perhaps regrettably. I've had my fill for this century. In any case, I'm glad we can remain collegial despite my scaly bulk, and my perverse need to infiltrate and betray both kingdom and revolution. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Does she regret that? Coalition become
Then
in
for my
charge?
daughters, we had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
I don't know about that.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
You are a patriot?
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, man.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
What is this?
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
What? Really?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
She just took a chair better than like, just kidding. I meant what is the place is?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or 2. A pre-revolutionary tenement.
Alright, let's...
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall.
Alright,
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe.
Alright.
Splat, splat. Wonderful.
What is that?
The girl in the old lady rags.
No, I meant something basic about reality.
Ah, yes. There's something very satisfying about discussing the
try
girl in
the
the...
go.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
The chap at a hipster movement or something? Okay, now explain the same thing but to a chap.
Young people who dye their hair funny colours and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right, what next?
Let's try this 3%.
A strange coldness comes over you. The doubt is fully formed in your head. The alien feeling persists. You just can't word the question yet. You have to complete the jamais vu thought.
Oh, okay. That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Tell me about
Anything
Wi-Fi.
else? What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
What do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money does it got?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last
20 billion.
Billion?
What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer.
What's
A
it
bit
made of?
is made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
Numbers like that mean nothing to me.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark.
Shark?
If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where does they get all this billion?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Phasmid 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation and madness have gone into this endeavour. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
What's such a huge system one with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
We don't keep it moving. The workers do. The company is nothing without them. I'm gonna go with the socialist choice here.
We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinaise was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I wanted to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Elements. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? The taco?
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk.
Oh.
I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines'
Oh,
counteroffer.
yes. Okay, like a middleman. Or
And how are the talks
middlewoman.
going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Measurehead. Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How was the talk going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Claire, the union boss. Mr. Claire refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to the previous negotiator?
Mr. Claire told him to, how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is
then
short of stature, you
not
see.
cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Claire has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
What are the demands?
There are leaflets everywhere and banners.
Oh,
What did they say again?
The
Yes.
slogan.
Every worker, a member of the board.
Seems like they have no idea about business. Should I? Yeah.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinaise terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
Oh. That's pretty funny.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
So 4 months strike? Yeah, how did they get the money for the worker?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the Bois at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
Okay, what do you think of Evrart?
Evrart Claire is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Evrart is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That's Evrart, alright?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Yeah, I think I hear about him from a happy guy, Leo.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Evrart does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Oh. What about the union itself?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Claire came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Evrart and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
I think I'm gonna go with a socialist answer here.
Why do you think so?
Can I do this?
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. But enough about Evrart. What else can I do for you?
One more thing, you said something happened in the election?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Oh.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Maybe some kind of extortion?
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Claires. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Alright.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
The scabs and the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
Alright. An answer?
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Uh-oh.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I could have eaten it, for all I know.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Okay, let's try the 83.
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credential?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinaise. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
Okay, so she wants us to bust a drug trade?
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Sure, and I got the giant novelty check for Evrart.
Wasn't easy getting that giant novelty check from Evrart. Took some ingenuity to get into the harbor, but you got in, and you took that bribe as hard as any cop's taken it.
Yeah, and Evrart gave me that $5.
He did. Yes, he did. And you took it. Took it and put it in your pocket. Ka-ching, baby doll. Officer Hustle riding shotgun.
What? Where is this going? Oh, and then there's falling stuff off to the suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
I guess there were some skills, sure?
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I am actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Okay. Fucking tax, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze, do I pay tax?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony. One tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
What? Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Okay, so this is the free market quest line. Bleeding nipples are kind of pain, but how will deregulation help with that?
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Okay.
Hey. Psst.
Look around.
Psst. Hey, you.
Me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Okay, so that guy is free market, this guy is the communist man. How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25
what?
in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings, regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
Some mighty left-wing things, but none of these killing people.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind.
Why are all the ideologies so extreme?
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, what is this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure?
Yes. Abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished. Beaten. Curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world.
Oh.
You alone. Against every living thing. Against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
All
now
right.
get to work, comrade.
Alright, I did say I'm gonna try going through the left-wing socialist, communist storyline. Alright, I'm hopping in.
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
What firing squad? You didn't say anything about those.
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million
You
eggs.
so extreme rhetoric. Alright. Okay, I can put in one of that. But I want that thing too. Oh. Alright. I can get another thought with the skill point. Can I get another one? No. I want this thing first. Alright. Alright, I gotta get the communist thing first. Alright. Am I going blind now? Zero visual calculus. Zero drama, zero visual calculus. I'm basically going branded. Okay, I can still see everything. Fuck him.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Oh, so we are her henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
What do you propose? Maybe I'm not gonna say sorry. I don't want that. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
Alright, I will say I'm sorry.
I'm sure you will, Detective.
You could just, you know, find my badge?
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Okay, let's get back to her then. Alright, let's do a quick search.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Neither do I.
Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. Am I right?
Alright, tell me about it. Are you drug trafficking?
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
So, come through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
Sorry about it. Sorry. So many interruptions this stream. Sorry. And the story is not going anywhere. It's just exposition dump all around. And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrart and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Oh, so those drivers have a part to play in this?
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her. in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
What proof do you have?
How do you think they're financing this strike?
Oh.
There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
Alright.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
Alright.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in.
Why did you come to the police earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence. The lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge.
Oh.
The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinaise to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold?
Fucking me three?
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this terminal alone must be oceanic.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay.
Yes?
You take this case from the driver, see what it is.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Can I talk about Claire?
You have? And how did you like Mr. Claire?
He a bloated rainbow socialist.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Oh, it is a good idea. He's helping me find my gun. Oh, should I let another one know about my missing gun? He asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, I mean like a real door.
Oh my. A real door?
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
It was something.
Of course. The RCM has the right to inspect any premises. How else would you catch the bad guys? The information was useful, I hope.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing.
This seems serious.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
He didn't seem all worried.
I wouldn't have taken Evrart for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
We were alone, and he seemed really sure in his ability to keep things in control.
Or he wants you and me to believe he's calm and in control. He's a politician.
There's always that risk, man. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
Kim's right.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
This gave her pause. She's pensive suddenly. Hard to say about what.
Can I ask about it? Can I fix it up? Let's see. Evrart said the Wi-Fi sent the mercenary after the Union, and now one's dead.
The company did not send mercenaries after the Union. I told you in great detail about the mistakes my side made. And of course, I accept them completely. I just hope you don't share Everart's view on things. After all, as he said, one's dead now. The Pine certainly hasn't killed any of theirs.
Look who's defensive suddenly.
Oh, I don't think the others should. I don't think I should share anything else. That's all I got to say.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating.
Well, that's good.
Hear that, hero? Feels good, doesn't it? You should relay confidential information more often.
Okay, I think I should say something else.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Do you know something about this tattoo?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So do you know something about the tattoo?
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, Detective.
Alright, that was a long conversation. A long, long one. What's that? So basically, now to get her to cooperate with us, we need to investigate a drug trafficking by talking to the lorry driver. I think I'm gonna hold the stream here. Next time we will go into this apartment, explore a bit. This has been a boring stream, isn't it? Nothing much happening. A lot of the time is just exposition done by Joyce. about the history and the setting of the game. Alright. See you next time. For the one viewer who is still here, thank you for coming. Okay, and we'll play Civilization on Thursday. It will be a domination game, so it's gonna be a bit more exciting than previous one. So I hope to see you there. Alright, see you. Bye bye.